My neighbor insisted she saw my daughter at home during school hours, so I pretended to leave for work and hid under the bed. Minutes later, I heard multiple footsteps moving down the hallway. My name is Sarah Williams, and I always believed I knew everything about my 13-year-old daughter, Emily Williams. Since my divorce 2 years ago, it had been just the two of us in our small house in a quiet Massachusetts suburb. She was responsible, intelligent, and polite. She never caused any trouble. At least that is what I thought. One Thursday morning, as I was leaving with my work bag, my elderly neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, waved to me. "Sarah," she said softly, "is Emily skipping school again?" I froze. "Skipping? No, she goes every day." Mrs. Thompson frowned. "But I always see her coming back home during the day. Sometimes with other children." My heart sank. "That cannot be true," I insisted, forcing a smile. "You must be mistaken." But on the way to work, the unease would not leave my chest. Emily had been quieter lately. She was eating less. She was tired all the time. I had chalked it up to high school stress, but what if it was something else? That night during dinner, she seemed normal, polite, calm, assuring me that school was fine. When I repeated what Mrs. Thompson had said, Emily went stiff for half a second, then brushed it off with a laugh. "She must have seen someone else, Mom. I am at school, I promise." But I could tell that something inside her was trembling. I tried to sleep, but my mind kept racing. What if she was skipping classes? What if she was hiding something dangerous? At 2 in the morning, I knew what I had to do. The next morning, I acted as if everything were normal. "Have a great day at school," I told her as I walked out the door at 7:30. "You too, Mom," she said softly. 15 minutes later, I got into my car, drove down the street, parked behind a hedge, and walked back home in silence. My heart pounded with every step. I slipped inside, locked the door, and went straight to Emily's room. Her room was impeccable. The bed was perfectly made. The desk was tidy. If she was coming home in secret, she would not expect me to be here. So I got down on the rug and crawled under the bed. It was cramped, dusty, and too dark to see anything but the bottom of the mattress. My breathing sounded loud in the small space. I silenced my phone and waited. 9 o'clock, nothing. 9:20, still nothing. My legs were numb. Had I imagined it all? Then the front door opened. My entire body froze. Footsteps. Not one pair, but several. Light, hurried, stealthy footsteps like children trying not to be heard. I held my breath, and then I heard it. "Stay quiet." It was Emily's voice. She was home. She was not alone. And whatever was happening downstairs, I was about to discover the truth. I stayed completely still. My heart was pounding so hard I was sure they could hear it. In the darkness under the bed, I pressed my hand over my mouth to quiet my breathing. The footsteps came closer. Emily's room. My stomach dropped. The door opened slowly. Someone turned on the light. A thin line of brightness slipped under the bed. I squeezed my eyes shut. "Hurry up," Emily whispered. "Mom cannot find out." Another child's voice followed. "Are you sure she left for work?" Emily replied. "Yes, I saw her drive away." My breath caught. So she had lied. There were at least 4 pairs of shoes in the room. Maybe 5. Someone laughed softly. Someone dropped a backpack on the floor. "Okay, everyone take out your phones," Emily said. "We need to finish quickly today." Phones. I felt confused. Then I heard something unexpected. Pages turning, pens scratching, quiet murmurs. "Question 3 is really hard. I do not get this part. Write the formula like this." I froze. They were studying. They sat on the floor, and I could see their shadows moving under the bed. "What if your mom finds out?" one boy whispered nervously. Emily answered gently. "She will not. We need this. Otherwise, we will all fail." My chest tightened. Fail? Was my daughter struggling too? "My dad will kill me if I fail again. My mom canceled my tutoring. I do not even have the textbook." One by one, the children's voices cracked with fear. And suddenly, I understood. This was not a secret rebellion. It was not anything bad. These kids were asking for help, and my daughter was giving it to them. Emily spoke softly. "Do not worry. We will pass together, I promise." Tears slipped silently down my cheeks. I had been wrong about her. She was not skipping school. She was not hiding trouble. She was coming home to run a secret classroom for kids who had no one else. I stayed under the bed silent. After a while, they packed up their things. "Same time tomorrow?" someone asked. "Yeah," Emily smiled. "Same time." One by one, they left. The house became quiet again. Slowly, I crawled out. Papers, notes, pencils were scattered everywhere. And in the middle of it all sat my daughter, exhausted, nervous, but proud. I spoke gently. "Emily." She jumped. "Mom, you are home. Fear filled her eyes. I wiped my tears and smiled. I am proud of you, sweetheart. She broke down and hugged me tightly. From that day on, I no longer saw my daughter as just my little girl. I saw her as a quiet hero,